Welcome to JCCR Racing, where we're going to be covering, well, how to win at Gran Turismo 7 and in general, how to win at sim racing. No, this isn't a guide on how to win if you're an A plus or A racer. This is a guide on how to get winning and continue winning. And that means a lot of things, but we'll cover all that in this video. So before we get started, just hit that thumbs up button, give it a little punt, and subscribe, turn bell notifications on. Otherwise, this is probably the only time you'll ever be recommended this content, because we're a small YouTube channel. And probably the only time you'll see a sim racer with no choice here but a dog on his lap. Now, first step to ranking up means consistent performance. And I'd say thank you so much, Annie62. I'd say before you actually work on trying to get, if I had to pick between a faster lap or getting one position or two positions or even 4 or 5 positions ahead in one race, but getting there really dirty, I'd play it safe, get your safety rating, because the number one reason people don't win races is because they get punted to the back of the pack. They get speared into another stratosphere. You're up in 5th, you get speared into another stratosphere, you're in 16th or 14th. So yes, knowing the track is very important, but being mixed in with good, relatively responsible racers is huge. So work on your safety rating. It's more important than your DR, your driver rating. Then, in the main screen, before applying for the race, before going into a qualifying time trial, hit the qualifying time ranking. So I've made it from E class to C class since only early December 2024. So 4 months roughly, and we've made it to the C class, and we only started racing online really I think end of December during the holidays, Christmas holidays. So we've been racing online for three months roughly. So hit the global ranking here and watch. This is going to be tough because all these super original creative people all using the M6 to get the fastest lap here. Maybe you run an RC Lexus, great if you do, but there's no video. Maybe you run a GTR and you're really happy there's a video, but for me, I'm running the 911 and there's no video. So that means you've got 2 choices. Give in, give up, and drive a BMW. Probably the smartest thing to do, but I'm not the smartest guy. I'm a little stubborn here. I'm not going to have my will bent. I want to drive the 911, so what I'm going to do is you're going to want to watch a replay, ideally of the right car. Super Doofus, welcome my friend, and you're going to go to play replay, and we're going to want to watch this in cockpit view. If you race cockpit view, because you're a hardcore sim racing enthusiast like myself, I want to have the view that removes and has blind spots, removes ease. It's harder, there's more blind spots, but that's the view I'm going to go when I'm driving in the real world and hopefully going to the racetrack. And I love that, Super Doofus. Yeah, drive the car you love. All about that. Right on. Well said. And you're going to go to play replay. And this view is going to do absolutely nothing for getting you into faster lap times and higher lobbies. Hey, Louise. Good to see you, brother. Thank you so much for making it in. So this view isn't giving us anything. So we need to, let's see, can we get it into another view? There you go. So if you're on the controller R1 here, this is the view, and you're going to want to start it at the beginning. And you always have the playback button. Okay, going, and you'll take notes going through this turn at 3. So let's start it from the beginning. Okay, so turn 1. Sorry, last turn of the race going through at 3. And what's great is if it's actually a car, you can find a replay for your car. You can know right where the best shift points are. So 2, briefly, to get the rotation on turn 1, then up to 3. And take notes what line is being used. So full speed through here, pedal to the metal. Let's see, the upcoming S turns, the snake section, the sneaky snake section of the race. How do they do it? So, 4th. All right, so going through in 4th, using up all the candies. Getting sticky on the tires. Full track there, going through in fourth. Here, okay. Oh, second. I sometimes go down to first. So second, briefly to get rotation. Then once he got to the apex, he put it in third for the takeoff. Let's see here, probably second. Second briefly, as soon as he gets to the middle of that apex, he's easing on the accelerator in third. Oh, that's great, Super Doofus. Great piece of advice there. So options button is not doing it for us here. But yeah, brake points are good as well. I think for me, just watching one lap, it's going to be enough just remembering what gear they're in, and that gives us a good idea. But yeah, brake points, you can see once they're off the accelerator. Okay, so here, going through in third. And that is a lap, and that's the world's fastest lap right there. So yeah, if you can go through. And that is a lot to remember, but I do suggest, cockpit's nice. We get an idea of the steering wheel, how much is being turned. So there we go. We've got a good idea now. Read display race info. You can play around with these options, get comfortable with it. There we go, race info. There we go. That will be better unless you find it too distracting. You just want to watch one or two laps and taking notes of what gear to be in and at what points the drive line is. Then if you want to include where the braking points are, I find the braking points come a little bit more naturally, but you can definitely watch it that way. So what would that have looked like? It would have looked like this. Display all. So now for brakes, throttle's on the right at the bottom of the screen, and left of the gear selector is our brake indicator. It'll show you when they brake and how much they brake. So that's one major key to getting faster laps and winning. Other is to accept that when you're on a track with other vehicles, you have to adapt to the other vehicles. You have to be very aware of where they are. You might know what the best race line is, but it's not necessarily the best race line when there's other people on the track. So you have to see where they are, and sometimes, let someone by. Sometimes hold your position by going on the inside of the turn, and your brake points and your drive line can change drastically. And you got to be willing and ready to do that. And we'll throw on the best tires we can here. Yeah, I'm with you. I also like to work on figuring it out on my own, but then if I have less time and I'm worried about getting kicked down, because right now I'm kind of worried, it's a new track, semi-new track. I've done 1 week on it in the past, but I'm not getting very fast laps, so I don't want to get kicked into back into the D class. So I thought this is what I would do to, well, avoid, to win, to get faster laps and stay. I don't want to just go in the D and get easy wins in the D. I want to kind of struggle in the C. And part of the next thing you're going to want to do, hey, Dev, yes, I made it out of D, Dev, with your help and the help of others. I am out. Thank you very much, Dev. Very kind. And thank you for all the help and assistance that you have provided. We've got I love the JCCR racing crew. Super Doofus, that's fantastic advice right there. So we'll try here to follow along. Load the Ghost. No, I'm not doing race C. I would want to actually practice a little. I want to stay in the C League and try to advance. And taking on GT2 cars means I'm going to have to practice or go back to D. So I don't have very much practice with the GT2 cars. And if I throw myself in there, it's not going to be pretty for the first, maybe hour. And I just don't have the time to practice an hour offline and not be live. I try to get you guys the chaotic action with actual other cars on the track. Oof. Well, that wasn't pretty. Yeah, the GR2s are fun. Absolutely, Dev. I'm going to actually start this race, this lap. Gotta try to get, you're gonna want to get the best possible qualifying lap, whatever league you're in. Ideally you want to start in the top 5 at the beginning of the race, because that will make a huge difference on how many cars you have to battle it out with, and will increase your odds of winning. Yes, we are in the Porsche 911. It's not the ideal car for this track, but I'm stubborn and I want to use it. It's also my manufacturer's cup car, so I feel it's important to practice as much as possible in the manufacturer's car that I'm using. Okay, get to that marker and we can start getting back into the pedal, because it's the middle, pretty much the middle of the apex. Hey, the Lone Ranger, good to have you back. We are in the GR3 or GT3 class tonight. It is what we're going to be racing. I know a lot of people are having a lot of fun in the GT2 or GR2 class. But I'm inexperienced and I'm trying to hold on to the C class rating that we picked up. So we started off by watching a replay in the cockpit, taking notes what gear, unfortunately, the BMW is going through the turns. And we're going to try to recreate that the best we can using a different car. So the gearing might not always be perfect, but we're going to have a good idea of how to take the track. Oh, thank you very much, the Lone Ranger. I am also rubbish on Watkins Glen, but at least we just brought down our lap a little bit, so that maybe we were starting in 12th before, and it is hard to do anything impressive starting from 12th position. So if we can start around 6th, we probably need to shave another second off since we're in the C class now, but if we can start in 6th, we've got a chance to get pole position. We always, every week, start as a beginner and finish the week so far, every week, as a winner. Because we apply just basic racecraft, and we listen to Dev and others. We listen to the JCCR Racing pit crew. So I know I'm slow on that corner because he just got way ahead of me here. Now he went down to 2nd, then went back up to 3rd once he got to the apex and eased into the throttle. So try to imitate everything we saw in the replay, the in-cockpit replay. Oh, and we did not get a chance to finish that lap. I'm sure we can get that into the 148s. That little right-left corner is the bus stop, by the way. Oh, thank you very much, Dev. Okay, the little right-left corner is the bus stop. Okay, so maybe not drop down as much in a gear from what I had understood. So Dev saying, for the bus stop, you might want to try only going down to 6th. to carry more momentum. Fantastic. And the Lone Ranger, thank you for the support. Now we got a lower time, but until we get into the 148s, we need to get, wow, to start in 6th, we're basically going to have a flat 148. Up the hill, end of the straight. Oh, fantastic. Up the hill, end of the straight. That's the bus stop. So 6th gear, carry momentum. You can call it in advance, Dev, if you say, yeah, you're coming up to it. That would be much appreciated. So we're racing all C racers. They're all S because we're now officially in C. We're not working to get into C because at first they're giving us C racers that had C and D ratings for safety. So it was pretty tough. In those cases, just hang on. It's not about getting first. A 5th gear, fantastic. And let's adjust here. Get the brake balance, 1 to the rear. We can still hold on, but we get a bit of better trail braking, so we can still move in towards the apex while on the brake. Somewhat Serpent Slick saying, share the track. I love it. Share the track, don't ram. And someone else here in the race saying, let's have a clean race. We got Fat Squirrel in front of us. Hopefully things don't get too nutty with Fat Squirrel. And we've got Duke up in 10th, M. Lopez, Salty Dog in 1st. And you're going to want to have your radar on, and you're going to want to use most of the time the whole track. 90% of the time you use 100% of the track. So start out here. Whoa, I'm trying to avoid action. But yeah, that was a slow. Oof, that was pretty slow around there. All of these racers, other than the cars behind us, all have a 1 second faster lap time. So it will take some safe, smart driving to pull anything off here better than a 12th position. Oh, tried to do my best to avoid that one. Oh, I'm not getting a whole lot of room here. And with a 4-second penalty, I will be very careful around him. Down to 2nd, just for the rotation, to get to the middle of the apex, drop into 3rd and start accelerating, full pedal to the metal right there, and that worked out just fine. 2nd for rotation, let's get to the apex marker and start climbing in 3rd. Actually, you know what, let's climb in 2nd. That was the wrong gear. Well, it was the right gear, I was just going too slow. Thank you very much, Dev. Or maybe you're saying he got an amazing overtake on us. That's probably more likely than us getting an amazing overtake. So let's go wide here. We're going to use the whole track and try to at least hold down some throttle. So, oh, thank you very much. I'll move off the racing line. Thank you very much, Dev, for that. I was not aware. So the racing line being the ideal line that everyone wants to take. So we're going to be more careful for our penalties because I do not want to lose the safety rating of S. That's more important than staying in the C class. And of course, this is the bus stop. Okay, fantastic. We'll try to go through in 5th. Oh, and that goes, wow, really well. Really, really well. That was easy. Thank you, Dev. That changed everything. Get to the apex marker and shift up and take off. And that will make for a much better turnaround there. Start turning in at the apex marker. Get to this apex marker. We did not carry enough speed through there. That should have been very top of 2nd, not bottom of 2nd. Try to get back on the pedal really quickly, meaning we need to do our best to get to the apex, and then at the marker, get back on throttle. Start turning at the marker. Oh, sorry, braked. No braking there. Should have flown through at the top of third. Can't be afraid of the wall there because we need to start driving through there quite a bit quicker, actually, the last turn. Woo! Oh, the Porsche will carry third off turn 2. Fantastic. Turn 1. Sorry, turn 1. Now we'll go through here in 5th, as Dev had suggested. And we carry speed, and the turning, we get a good amount of high-speed turning in 5th there. Now we missed the apex, so we weren't nearly as hard back onto the accelerator at the middle of the apex as we needed to be. So covering the mistake I made there, at least verbally. All right, so let's fly through here. Third seemed to work out quite nicely through there. And third is nice through the last corner. So second last and last corner went well with third, so thank you very much, Dev. Ooh, big collision there, a bit of clown racing that went down. Chaotic clown racing, Mario Kart style. Who was the donkey and who was the little mushroom? I don't know who got squashed, but someone was out there throwing bananas and red turtle shells. Fair enough, Dev. Very, yeah. Wow, good, really good point. Well, that's one odd way of going around that corner, that turn. We did do it, but not the suggested line or drive style. Slid most of that turn. Now everyone ahead of us is faster, so the only way we're going to win this and get ahead and finish with a higher position than our grid position at the start of the race is through safe, smart racing. So we just need to consistently apply the racecraft, get to the apex, then start accelerating at the apex. There we go. With the help from the JCCR Racing Pit crew, we are getting faster and faster. That's the fastest on lap time I've ever done on this race in a GT3. Thank you very much for the help. And the support. Lone Ranger giving me a little bit of emotional support. You know, when people say, hey, I struggle with that race as well. It's encouraging to say, you know what, yeah, I'm not the only one. This is natural. It's part of the process. I'm going to keep trying. So third was really nice through there. BMW was second to get the rotation, but we got the rotation in third. But yeah, Dev makes a really good point. These aren't BMW gears. Ooh, good job getting all out of our way, getting off the drive line. Great job to that car. Try not to go off. Do not want to get a time penalty. Now, getting the apex there is so important. So we just see we're now closing the gap, and that's because we got to the apex. Getting the apex means you've got the nose in the right direction and we're ready to take off. So had we done that last turn 5 times in a row, every single lap, we would have gotten a better position. But we started in 12th. We got pushed back to, what was it, 13th or 14th. And both Fat Squirrel and I both moved up. Fat Squirrel was in 11th, so we both moved up. And I think there's a lot to be said about not battling it out with every single car that's in front of you on the track, because part of the 20% of the time you're going to be completely spun out. All right, Dev. So Dev's saying you can probably go into the fourth on the second last corner and just aim it correctly. Yes, fantastic. We will try that because we're going to jump into this again. And unless there's an absolute demand for a different car, I'll continue to use the 911, because getting used to a vehicle and being consistent and getting faster is also knowing the vehicle and doing exactly what we're doing. Saying, okay, for the 911, what gear do I take this corner in? And unfortunately, there are no world records for this track with the 911. If we find the 911, we're going to be right down, and it would be great if GT7 does an update where you can see world's fastest laps by car. So that way, and even if they cut down on the number of replays that they accept or whatnot, but if you have like the top fastest lap times for each of the cars, or even the top 4 or the top 5, we don't need that many. We really just need one for each vehicle. So let's see how it shook out here. We've got Lev 8A. Yeah. Yeah, the DR is down. That's right. 10th. You can see C rating going up for everyone. It's not that we drove that race slower than usual. We drove that race faster than usual, but we needed to be in 8th or higher. At least our safety rating didn't go down despite the little mishap at the beginning. So we've got Lev 8A in first, getting faster on the laps and safety rating going up. So great job, Stevie Wonder and M. Lopez. Those are your winners. And Serpent Slick did a fantastic job. Now, we've raced with Serpent Slick before. He often seems to be running a funky Ferrari. So very cool. Salty Dog up there. Ross. So let's hit it up again. Try to take what we've learned and now turn this into an 8th or higher. Because yes, we are slowly pushing ourselves out of the C League by, placing 10th or 12th. But we're also getting faster. If you're really worried about your league rating, do a lot of practice laps. Yeah, fast quality. Yes, absolutely. Fast qualification. So let's get one in right now. Let's do one fast lap. We got to get 148 here. Even, and we'll be starting in a position that means we can, even if we lose a position or two in the race, we'll still, be competing in the C League, not getting kicked back into the D. All right, so, Dev, that is very comical and very nice. I don't know if that's nicer than it is comical, and I think it's probably a mix of both. But the goal is to one day get into the A League. So if we can get a 148 here, that will be solid C League. That's a full second. So let's find out where you can find a second on a lap. Woo! It's not going to be by going through the corner at that. We'll try it again in fifth. The fifth worked out really nicely for us last time. A dev special, dev suggestion. Definitely getting on the throttle at all the apex markers because we're actually on the apex. That should shave the second. So let's just try exactly that. Pay attention to the markers. Get to all the markers. There we go. Start accelerating on the second marker. Here, power, pedal to the metal, power through. Straighten out the track as much as possible. Brake to the apexes because last minute braking, so just in time braking. Sorry, fifth. There we go, fifth holds it, back to fourth for speed. Brake two. And try not to slide out by being too rough with the steering wheel. Take off in third for the 911. Quick little braking here. Anyways, we have a lot of trail braking we do while climbing the hill. Naturally lose a lot of speed when climbing a hill. Power up because we got the apex. No comparison, but I think I need to get there at about 105. Missed the apex by 4 feet and we came up short on the track. We'll go through here fourth on Dev's suggestion. Get it pointed. Remember, you can stick it in third on that instead of second. Fantastic. Well, at least we got, if we can get a consistent 149 lap after lap online, we'll actually do pretty decently. Rev out the 911. It does like to be revved out. Make sure you know your car. Is it a car that wants to be revved out? Or is it a car you need to shift early, like the Mercedes or the Viper? Alright, we're going to try to go through here on fifth. Well, I don't think that's going to... Alright, so yeah, let's try that. Let's try failing on traction control 1. Not ready for 0. Let's try this. Failing on traction control 1. Woo! Okay, that's different. That is different. And yeah, this is, when you're doing your qualies, that is the time to practice getting your traction control down to just a little bit below what you're comfortable with. And then slowly bringing it down. And I haven't brought it down to 1 since the update. So hopefully we can get to the hill section. No, but we will get through the S, so let's see how we do through the S with easing into the throttle. So far, traction control, this is where one of the places I wanted to try it out. Oh, it's fine, traction control 1. I was just being a scaredy pants for nothing. Reverse trail braking with the throttle. Fantastic. Alright, so we're now getting mixed in with safety rating A, which worries me. I think that means we're not far from getting kicked into the A safety rating class. Let me know, folks. More wheel, turn, less gas. Yes. Fantastic, Dev. Okay, so starting to see some A safety ratings. That is a worry for being kicked into the safety rating class A. Not great. Let's try to have a clean, very clean race. Can't tune the car. Would have liked to have put automatically. Thank you, Jimtastic. Very nice. And I love the car you've got as a thumbnail there. Is that your car, or is it a car you're dreaming to get to? Both are noble causes. Okay, so let's get traction. I hope this is traction control. Blue should be. Yeah, TCS, brake balance to 1. Let's see what we can pull off here. Radar, still need that. So first race since the update, trying traction control 1. Being the Porsche 911 is a pretty good vehicle to try it out on. Oh, very cool, Jimtastic. Well, it's a very cool car. Trailblazer SS, that's interesting. Cool, right on. So we're gonna, starting up in a half decent position here now. Starting up in 8th, we actually have a chance to not get our driver speed pushed down again. We need to get 8th or higher. We're gonna do our best, safe, clean, smart racing, meaning sometimes we will let people pass, and other times we'll defend. We'll cover when we do each. Oh, there we go. Nice safe pass. Using the right sections of the track where it's nice and wide. See if we get banged out, taking to Pound Town on the straight or not. Oh! Oof. That was tight. I gave him just an ever, so we traded a little bit of pain. He kind of jumped up and cut right in front of us. And I was on the brakes, but not enough on the brakes. Third gear, okay? Yes, third gear for that section before the uphill. Oh, I'm happy I didn't follow his line. Whoa, that's right, we got to be careful taking off in corners in low gears. Oh, we got sandwiched. So you see Dusty going off the track. That's what happens often when you play dirty. We're going to go through here in 4th, just let off the throttle so we can catch the apex. Thank you, Deb, for the feedback. There we go. So we're going to let him cut wind for us. It sounds smelly, but it's all about being faster. Oh yeah, 3rd for here. Needed to be going through there, maybe 5, probably able to pull 10 miles per hour faster, but definitely 5. Got to put my big boy pants on. Ha! It's very kind, Dev. Very, very kind. I went off the track, and you know, it's a good lesson for driving in the real world. If you look at something, your hands will often follow. Same when I used to be a tennis instructor. Same thing when you're playing tennis. Your feet, where your feet are pointed, which is often where you're looking, but where your feet are pointed is definitely where the ball is likely to go, and where you're looking is also increased likelihood of where the ball will go. So 3rd through here, if I understood from last lap. So traction control 1 so far, I'm very happy. I'm just being a little wiser with the low gear shenanigans. But we are in 7th, so let's get this up to a nice 5th. And we just need to apply the basic racecraft here at the marker, start turning in, catch the apex, accelerate. Oh, accelerate. There's that TC1, but I shouldn't have been in first. Accelerate at the markers, brake to the markers, brake up to the marker, then accelerate at the marker. So good 15 miles per hour faster through there, required. So 5th through the bus stop, right on. Oh, there's that TC1, but it's well worth it. Still have 2.3 seconds ahead, but 1 seconds behind 6th. So 5th through here. Oh, what is going on? I'm just in a slide off track I can't control. Here we go, accelerate at the marker. Yeah, head down, good call. Start accelerating. I could have started accelerating harder than that. I'm just making sure I can adapt to TC1. It is new to me, the traction control 1. New to me since the update. Did a little bit of driving before the update in TC1 and found it very doable in the 911. But the 911 is hugely improved, I feel. So let's get up, should get up to 4th here. Point it. Carry the speed, there we go. So, oh, I'll miss, I'm gonna read out the comments. Maybe at the end of the next lap, next straightaway. So did not get the nose pointed in the right direction there. We need to go from the wide all the way to the inside. Good evening, Wesley Francis. Thank you very much for making it in. We are a small YouTube channel, so if you can hit that thumbs up button. Oof. Trying to find space here. You can hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, and turn bell notifications on. Otherwise, it's probably the only time YouTube is going to suggest this content to you, where we work to learn and grow together, going from the E class, hopefully one day to the A class. We're currently in the C class, and we've been racing online since the end of December 2024. Gotta trust the system. The apex marker there is where we need to. Alright, so traction control 1, we can go a bit deeper into the turn. Noted. Sorry, forgot that we should be going through there in 4th. Get to the apex, then start accelerating. That should actually help close the gap. Yeah, the 911 is fantastic. And I do like having that rear view camera up on the dash. Oh, we stayed on. There we go. Good to know, Deb. Thank you very much for eloquently putting that, eloquently wording that. So let's try to go through here in 5th. So yeah, the gap's closing up. This is good. Whoa. Gap's closing up, and we're climbing up the grid. As Let's just stay in control for a little bit longer. So 107. We need to try to get down to 105 for that section. Oh, it's close. I need one more lap. I'm getting into the hang of traction control 1. Maybe we don't need one more lap. Let's try to make things happen right here, right now. Come on. Oh, come on, for the race, for then. Let's do this. Give her, come on, there we go. Yes. Nice little take on the end. Wesley Francis, right on. You're you're bouncing from C to D class. So does that mean you're currently in C and you're going into D? Dev, thank you very much. If so, follow along. We're currently competing or combating to not get pushed back into the D rating. So let's see how that worked out. The Volkswagen at the end giving us did a little braking there. We were in the process of passing, and I think he just said, you know what, I don't want this guy to come and hit me on the straightaway. I think maybe he calculated out that we'd finish just a little bit ahead, but he might also know how chaotic online racing can be, and he said, you know what, in between maybe getting knocked off the track and losing 4 or 5 positions, or just braking and letting the car speed by me, I think he took a choice that's, might seem like an odd choice because it wouldn't happen in the real world, but will definitely happen in the online world where, you're in the process of slowly passing. If you calculate the other one's definitely getting to the line before you, you might consider just hitting the brakes a little because, yes, they might, take you to Pound Town and completely spin you out. Now let's see how this worked out. We got Moat 1 up in first for the gold, Jordan M6 for the bronze, and their safety ratings went up. So great job. C. Smith, his safety rating went down. And Dev, that's very kind. Dev, let me know. Here we've got A-rated drivers. Is that because our safety rating is on the line and we're very close to getting kicked out of the S rating? And yes, absolute American dominance. And then we got the Canadian here, JCCR Johnny. Even though I'm DRA and second account DRB. If you want or need any tips, I'm here. Oh, fantastic, Jimtastic. Now, okay, so A rating is above an S rating? If so, good. That means I'm working into getting into S. That's why you've been saying I'm going to be an A rating soon. You weren't talking about driver speed, which I found very comical because I'm like, I'm so far away from being an A-rated driver speed. Oh, but A rating for safety. Oh, fantastic. Oh, that is some really positive news. Thanks, guys, for sharing that. I didn't realize. I thought S, I guess I just... Oh, you were talking about the driving speed. Oh, well, that's comical, but I'll do my best to get to the A rating one day and as quickly and safely as possible. I guess I'll do a little research to find out if SR rating is higher than S rating. But thank you so much, guys. I've got... I'm going to call it a night for now. I might be back on later for some more races. S is above A. Your S is on the line of going down to your... Yes. Okay, so that's how I thought it. S is above, and the A was worrying me. Okay, so thank you, Devin, and thank you for having faith that we'll make it to the A League. I'm sure with your assistance, Dev, we'll make it to the B League actually in a relatively reasonable amount of time, and we will one day make it to the A for driver rating. Oh, fantastic. Daily A. So the Daily A would be over here. We don't hit anyone and our SR will go up. Jimtastic, that is fantastic advice for the community who are currently maybe in a bit of a pickle and worried about their safety, their driver rating. And even if you're in, B, C, D, E for safety rating, well, maybe you're not worried. Maybe you're not feeling you're in a pickle. Oh, fantastic. So the A rating has no DR update, so you can do what you want. Very interesting. But I'd say our main goal is to keep the safety rating at S, because the lower you go, the more chaotic it's going to be and the more chances there are of just getting punted to the back of the line and then finishing in second last or last and have your driver speed drastically affected. So highly recommend everyone working on their safety ratings. Get them up, boys. Thank you so much for watching. Truly blessed to have you all come in and hang out and make me a faster racer. I'm so glad and happy to be learning and growing with all of you, and I hope everyone comes in with the mentality that everyone's going to learn and grow. You know, Dev, I have nothing to teach Dev in regards to driving, but Dev gets to learn all about, you know, mentoring and coaching as Dev and others in the JCCR racing pit crew get us to be faster, smarter racers. So thank you so much. I wish you good night, everyone. Take care, hang tight. I wish you all more cars and more power, and do hope you get to put the pedal to the metal on a car you love sometime soon. If it's not in the real world, it's more than fine in the sim world, because hey, I've got two Porsche 911s, I've got a 2017 GT350, a 1991 Toyota MR2 full JDM with, unfortunately, a new motor I had to put in last summer, and a 2024 Ford F-150, and this is my favorite place to drive, especially with the community here giving the tips and tricks and us all hanging out as friends. So really appreciate it, guys. See you tomorrow night, maybe later tonight. See how things go with the wife, but talk and hang out again soon. Godspeed, everybody. Stay safe out there.